Right, here we go. I'm starting this a bit differently today. This is going to be like an introduction, just basically what's going to be going on. And I'm going to change it because somebody suggested something quite good to me yesterday, which was, why would we want to watch you, Ben? Why would anybody want to watch you? And cheers, Con, thanks for that. But the point is there. Why should anyone listen to me? Why should anyone, who am I? Who am I? And that's the thing. I'm a normal person. I'm an old person who enjoys training. I'm an old person who enjoys competing in whatever discipline that is. And I'm someone who is fucking honest about everything I do. And if I say I'm going to do something, whether that's win a powerlifting comp, be a British champion, or win a bodybuilding show, I will do it. I don't set unrealistic goals. I set hard goals and I do it. And sometimes it's taken me years, I'm a former powerlifting champion. I was British champion, multiple times British champion. I won Yorkshire titles, South Yorkshire titles, British records, Yorkshire records, Commonwealth records. I competed internationally twice with the British team, which was fucking brilliant. It was awesome. I got into competitive bodybuilding 3 years ago. I've done 3 shows. My last show, I won the WBF Classic. Athletic bodybuilding, it is classic bodybuilding. I won that title. WBF is now merged with PCA, so there's a good standard of athlete there now. And I'll be honest, I'm glad I'm not competing this year against the guys that are there. I was also a manager of a sports nutrition shop, so I do know a fair bit about what goes on in the supplement industry too. Why am I doing this? Right. I'm doing this because when someone does talk about a prep, or whether it's someone on Instagram, an athlete, or somebody who is well known does talk about these things, there's often like some hidden agenda, that they're hinting towards supplement sales, their sponsors won't mention it, things like that. It's hard for people to know what to believe because there's always a grey area. There's always, well, are they telling the truth? And most of them, especially sponsored athletes, won't talk about things like drugs, gear, things like that. Things that I'm going to talk about, things I'm going to talk about as much as people want me to talk about. There's no problem with that at all. But the only time you really get someone coming out of the woodwork and being open and honest is like retired pros or people who aren't on the circuit, and they've got nothing to lose, because if you're talking about everything and absolutely everything honestly, most people in the supplement industry are going to frown upon that because the general public don't know enough about things like drugs, etc. And it's going to negatively impact sales. It's going to negatively impact that athlete. So it doesn't get talked about. It gets swept under the rug. It's the big magic unicorn that no one ever talks about, but everyone knows about. So I think the reason why I'll be good at this is because if you get a pro talking about this, there's always going to be that air of, are they telling the truth? I mean, look at their physique. Fuck me, look how good they look. Are they telling the truth about that? It's not always clear cut. And somebody, especially if someone's just starting out or is unsure, if you look at someone like me, I have an attainable physique. I am not genetically gifted. I am not a top tier amateur. I do what I do and I come in good nick and I look good on stage, good enough to win a regional show. I personally don't think I'd ever be good enough to win a amateur British title. And that's brutal honesty. It's not me putting myself down. That's me putting myself where I think I am. And if someone out there looks at, say, a pro saying, well, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, or they look at someone like me saying, well, this is what actually goes on, this is what goes on, I think it's going to be more relatable for them to look at someone like me, and they will take stuff on board. And another thing I replied to the person last night who was asking me why should we listen to you is because I will not post opinions as facts. I'll post facts as facts. If it's an opinion, it'll be stated as, this is just my opinion, but people get this so confused on the net. Their opinion is fact, and it's bullshit, and that's what causes problems and arguments, and we ain't getting into that shit. So you'll notice I have a bowl of oats and a protein shake because, well, how else would you know I'm a bodybuilder? Oh, and I'm also wearing a stringer from Samson Athletics. Buy their stuff, please. For the love of God, buy their stuff. Please, I'm begging you, buy their stuff. So yeah, and that is how I'm starting this. Later on today, I'm going to do how my prep's starting, like calories, macros, training split, cardio. I may even go into other things like supplements and everything I'm using. So, but that's where we are today, and let's carry on.